Hey, so you're thinking about moving to Natomas in Sacramento, California? Well, you are in the right place. Thanks for joining me. This is Renee with eXp Realty and the Friedrich team and living in Sacramento. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all the alerts so that you know all the latest and greatest about living, working, playing here in beautiful Sacramento. And like I said, today we're going to be exploring North Natomas. So I am here at one of the many parks here in North Natomas, and this is actually where they have the farmers market every week. So you may have seen the sign behind me just now. There's another one back there. But Saturdays, 8 to 12 every week, they've got a really great farmers market right here in North Natomas. And I'm a little bit sad because I really want to just also show you guys the brand new aquatic center. We've got some footage though, so we'll throw that in here as well. And I'm on the other side of the park that has the aquatic center that is great for lap swimming. They're open, a good 6 months out of the year for lap swimming. They've got water slides over there, so super fun family spot for in the summertime. And they just launched and opened that this year, so it's a great new amenity for the community that the residents here in Natomas have been working on for quite some time. So that was a huge win for the city and especially for this community here in North Natomas that opened earlier this year in 2022. So I am right here. It's called North Natomas Ballpark. I'm gonna circle back around so you guys can see. The thing I love about Sacramento and probably most cities is that anytime there is a public place, you've got to have some elements of art that are worked into the project. And so you'll always see, I think our airport's pretty famous for the big red bunny. And so this cool bridge that is behind me is kind of your gateway into the playground area of this park. And we've got multiple different ball fields over here, picnic areas, there's an amphitheater, and so just a really nice amenity for the North Natomas residents. There's a dog park, so many things. And so I wanted to start here today. I was trying to start at the aquatic center, but again, it wasn't open in the middle of the day. They are open in the evenings for lap swimming. But so I thought I'd come over here to the ball field instead and just show you guys around this part. We're gonna go take a tour of 3 different homes today. The first one is in Regency Park, which, fun enough, Mike and I, our second home when we came back from our short stint in Germany. Mike's German and he thought he was homesick, so we moved to Germany for a short time, and when we came back, I'd shared with you guys that our first home was in Folsom, and that was one of our earlier tours that we did on one of the other suburbs of Sacramento. And anyway, I was working in the Bay Area at the time, and so moving all the way out to Folsom didn't really work for my commute. And so we have a home in Regency Park, which is the first neighborhood that we're going to tour today on our North Natomas tour. Next, we'll go to Natomas Park, which has a really great community center there too. Not really community center, but an HOA, so a clubhouse with multiple pools, and I'll try to get us in there too. And then we're going to finish up in Westlake. So we're kind of looking at the original North Natomas neighborhoods today. We'll get into some of the newer stuff on another day, of course. And then on a whole nother visit, we'll do South Natomas, which is basically everything that is south of Highway 80. So that would be considered South Natomas, and that's kind of the border there, if you will. And so North Natomas has 2 different zip codes, 95834 and 95835. And we might be adding another couple because they're building even closer to the airport. But I would say that's one of the things that we really loved about living in Natomas when we were here is the proximity to the airport. And then it's just a really wonderful master plan community that has a lot of great parks, trails. You can see the playground in the background there. There's a whole family playing, so I don't want to disturb their family time. So North Natomas has about 14,000 households, and it's one of the most diverse communities in California, actually. So fun fact, Inderkum High School, which is one of the high schools in the Natomas Unified School District, is the #1 most diverse high school in all of California. So out of, I think almost 1,000 different high schools, Inderkum is the #1 most diverse, which I thought was very interesting. And so the Natomas Unified District is one of the districts here in Natomas. And then we also have Twin Rivers, which covers part of Natomas and then goes over into Rio Linda and some other neighboring communities as well. Both of them get, decent ratings. They're not the highest in our suburbs here of Sacramento, but they're not the lowest either. And we've got several friends and clients that teach and are administrators at both of those districts. And actually, Inderkum High School, the one I was just talking about, their water polo team practices over at the aquatic center, which is literally just off in the distance. Behind us over there. Again, we've got some great footage from an earlier visit, so we will throw that in here so you guys can check it out and see what it's all about. We'll also throw some photos of the awesome farmers market so you can see what it looks like when it's not empty and during the week. So again, we're going to go to Regency Park first, and like we usually do, we'll have a little bit of a lower priced home that we start with, kind of average size. We'll move up to something kind of middle of the road, and then we're going to end the day in Westlake with a really nice luxury property. So let's get to it. Hey guys, so here we are at our first stop on our North Natomas tour, and I am here in Regency Park, which is a super cute community here in the area. And out of the three communities that we're going to look at today, are the three neighborhoods, Regency Park, Natomas Park, and Westlake. This is the only one that actually isn't part of an HOA. And so what that means is you do get a little bit more street parking on the street, and the yards are not quite as, there's not as many rules as far as like what people have to do to keep their yards up, but it is nice not to have that extra expense every month as well. So if keeping your monthly costs as low as possible is important, then Regency Park might be a great one to consider when you're thinking about your move to Sacramento, and if North Natomas is on your list of places to check out. We actually own a home here in Regency Park ourselves, and really enjoyed the fact that we didn't have that extra expense for every month. And so anyway, here we are. And this house behind me is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It is on the market right now. It's just over 1,900 square feet, 1,910 square feet, and it's listed at $607. So a little bit more than that median home price, which here in North Natomas, including condos though, the median home price right now is just over $500,000. And again, that does include condos, so that certainly brings that average down, because we've got condos as low as like $200,000 in the area. So if you're looking to have something that's pretty low maintenance and pretty affordable, buying a condo here in the area might be a great way to go. So this particular house it's on a pretty good sized lot. It's about 5,000 square feet, and it's just down the street from the elementary school, which is right back there behind me. And one of the fun things that I really loved about Regency Park is that they've got a huge park in the middle of the community, and they organized the homes in a way that actually everything is walkable to the school and everything is walkable to the park. So the whole community is built around the school and the park, which makes it really great. And as far as scores go, Regency Park Elementary, which is the school down the street, they don't get the best scores. They've got a B- as far as niche.com goes, and you never like fully know like all of the reasons for that, but I know that when we were there, when our kids were going to school there, actually Dominic, our oldest, went to school there a couple of years before we moved a little bit further out into the suburbs of Sacramento area. We had some of the nicest teachers and just really patient. He did kindergarten and first grade at Regency Park, and we just had a really good time. The involvement, the principal was amazing. The parent involvement was awesome. We had a really good PTA there. And so we really enjoyed our time at that school. And so I know if you're considering this area, that's a big thing to consider, is how are the schools and the parks and all of the infrastructure. And so again, this house behind me, just under 1,900 or just over 1,900 square feet, and it is listed just over $600,000. You can get into the neighborhood for in the fives And this one's been on the market for a little bit, so who knows? There could be some room there for negotiation, as well as we have a little bit of a softening market with interest rates being what they are. And if you are thinking about buying a home or selling a home in this market, we've got some great tips and tactics to help you, take advantage of the softening market and still keep your payments low by working with your lender and working with the sellers to make that happen for you. So whether you're looking to move in a week, a month, or a year, as I always say, certainly reach out to us and we can help you make a smooth move to Sacramento. And I'm going to go drive around a little bit so you guys can see the Regency Park. There's a skate park over there. There's a number of different playground structures, and then also, lots of good picnicking area. We've done fundraisers at that park and, all sorts of things. So we'll drive past that. Ooh, other fun fact, and I'll have to go dig through my phone to see if I can find these things. But when we lived here, oh my gosh, this was years and years ago. These houses were built in the mid 2000s. So our house that's around the corner was built in 2004. And this house behind me, I think, was built in 2003. And anyway, they built the neighborhood. We are in a flood zone. So that is one thing that you have to contend with here in the Natomas area, is that we are surrounded by levees, because Sacramento's a river city, so there's rivers everywhere, and so there's levees everywhere, and we are definitely in a flood zone here. And so flood insurance is required, but we've got a great resource for that. However, they built this neighborhood to where the houses are all elevated quite a bit, and on the streets you'll actually see behind me, you can kind of see that the houses are perched up a little bit compared to the street level. And then the way that they built the park actually holds a ton of water. So it was December of 2005. There was a huge storm, and we actually had several areas in Sacramento flooded, and our parks flooded here in Regency Park, but our streets did not. It was fantastic. It totally worked exactly how the planners had intended, and it was super cool. I'm literally going to have to dig through my phone and see if I can find some of those pictures of our flooded parks, because it was so interesting to see that engineering at work and know that the planners did a great job of building out this particular neighborhood. So let's go drive around, and then we will head to Natomas Park from here. See you soon. Just a quick stop here at Regency Community Park. This is that park that I was just telling you guys is in the center of the Regency Park neighborhood. And if you can see behind me, the paths back there, those are all basically when we have a big rain or a storm event, they turn into canals, and they've got drainage set up so that the park takes all the water, like I just mentioned, and so the houses don't get flooded. It's really a cool engineering feat. This is the play structure. We've actually got a big kid area, a little kid area. So really a great neighborhood for families. The other really, I think, cool thing that the developers did for Regency Park is this long street that's behind me that goes almost through the whole neighborhood. It's actually called Honor Parkway, and all of the streets off of Honor Parkway are named after fallen officers, and so it's just a nice tribute to the people that have sacrificed so much, the police officers, their families. It's a nice tribute to them for everything that they do to protect and serve our city, and especially those that gave all. So nice tribute to them, and just a cool feature of the neighborhood, and a way to say thank you for everything that our police officers do for all of us here in Sacramento. All right, I'm going to head over to Natomas Park now, and I'll see you there. Right, here we are at house number 2 for our tour today in North Natomas, and we are in Natomas Park now. And so the house behind me is a really nice sized home. It's 5 bedrooms and 3 baths, and just under 3,200 square feet, and it's priced just under $750, $749. And it's also a really good sized lot too. It's 0.18 acres, so give or take about 8,000 square feet as far as the lot size goes. And there is an HOA here in Natomas Park, which it does include access to a really fabulous clubhouse. So I'm going to run through there too and see if we can get a quick tour so that y'all can see inside. They've got multiple pools though, workout facility, oh my gosh, rooms for having parties. We've been to a lot of meetings there over the years. So we used to do the realtor tour out of Natomas Park, the clubhouse, and so just a great amenity for the homeowners here, and definitely makes spending, I think it's only $71 a month for the HOA, so certainly does make that, I think, worth the money for sure. And I don't know how I got so lucky, but so far at every house there's been people working on the yards nearby, so I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but the good news with that is that people do really maintain their yards. It's there's a lot of pride of ownership here in the neighborhood, and it really shows. So like I said, Natomas Park is part of an association, so you do have a few more rules, so you won't see as much street parking, at least not at night, as you will in Regency Park where we just were. And you also have a little bit more rules and regulations as far as, like painting your house. You've got to get approval on that. If you add a structure, we've had some friends that have added, backyard landscaping over the years with elaborate gazebos and things, and that stuff has to get approved by the HOA. But you also end up, maintaining the neighborhood and keeping those home values a little bit higher as well when you've got that extra layer of accountability on what you can and can't do with your home, I think. And this is part of Natomas Unified School District versus, I didn't mention this when we were over at Regency Park. However, the Regency Park School District is Twin Rivers, which isn't as highly rated as the Natomas Unified School District. It's slightly lower. And so this neighborhood here in Natomas Park, your kids would go to Heron, which is a really highly rated elementary school, and it's actually K through 8, which a lot of parents really love. We had a good number of friends when we lived down here that had their kids at Heron, and they absolutely just loved the staff, the teachers, the principal, everything was top notch. Actually, it's funny, our principal at Regency Park, his kids went to Heron because that's where he lived. He was on this side of the road. So Natomas Park is over on the other side of Natoma Boulevard, and it actually is on both sides. So when Mike does the map tour of North Natomas, he'll be able to map out and show you guys exactly which quadrants are considered Natomas Park. And then, like I said, we're going to end the day over in Westlake Village, which is not Westlake Village, that's in Southern California, Westlake Community, and that's a neighborhood on the other side of Highway 5 from where we are now. And it's a nice lake community, so for a long time you had, and probably still to this day, a lot of our Kings players live there because it's just a really pretty neighborhood, and it's also the proximity to downtown in Natomas, I think, is one of the huge highlights, as well as that proximity to the airport. I mean, we're literally like 8 minutes to the airport. So when we lived down here, it was so great. I would, if I was traveling without Mike, which wasn't very often, but sometimes, I would call him when the plane landed, and by the time I got my luggage, he would be out at the parking lot, or at the entrance picking me up. So the proximity to the airport is amazing. So if you do travel for work quite a bit, Natomas is a very popular spot for folks that have to fly in and out for their job. So I'm gonna go try to get us into that clubhouse that I was just telling you guys about, and then we'll be off to Westlake from there. See you in a minute. Okay, you guys, I am on our last stop of the day here in Westlake in North Natomas, and I should say our last house stop of the day, because I do have one more stop for you guys right after this at one of our favorite shopping centers, and I will point out one of our go-to neighborhood restaurants here in Natomas when we're here in the area, either shopping with clients or just visiting friends and family that live out this way. So we're in Westlake, and this is a Jackson model by U.S. Homes. It is a 4 to 5 bedroom house. 425, not 45. That would be a lot of bedrooms to fit into that house behind me. It is on 0.17 acres, so just slightly smaller than the lot that we just left in Natomas Park. And this house is really, really well laid out. It's 4,097 square feet, and I've sold this model a number of times all over Sacramento, actually. U.S. Homes, which became Lennar later, they actually built this particular series of homes all over the whole region, so, and probably all over the country, who knows, but it's their presidential models, and so this particular one is Jackson. And it's got, like I said, 4 to 5 bedrooms. It's got a huge bonus room and a loft, and so it's just really laid out really nicely for families. It has a split staircase, which is fun, especially for little kids. When we would visit friends that had this house when our boys were younger, you know, they would just race around with the other families that kids that we were visiting, and they just loved it. So great neighborhood over here. This neighborhood, Westlake, most of it is gated, so that is going to be a bit of an upgrade, you know, depending on what you like, of course, from the other areas of Natomas that we've visited already today. And so with that, though, the HOA is a little bit more expensive. It's $144 per month versus Natomas Park was about $71. And it does have a smaller clubhouse, so not as elaborate as the one that we saw in Natomas Park either. And it does have a pool, though, so you do get the club pool with that 144, and of course they maintain the common areas and the gates for the community. And this is the community where I was saying earlier that in the past we've had a lot of Kings players that lived here, because the proximity to the former arena for our Sacramento Kings was literally just a hop, skip, and a jump away when they were at Arco Arena. Now, of course, we've got Golden One Center, which is right in downtown at the Downtown Commons, which I know we've had some footage of in some of our other videos, and we will definitely do a downtown, midtown video coming soon, so that you can see a little bit more of DoCo. But they literally just tore down Arco Arena, the former home of the Kings, just in the last month or so. And so yeah, but this is one of those really nice luxury neighborhoods. Again, the proximity, you guys might have heard as I started the video, we had a plane that was flying over, and so the proximity to the airport is great. We are in the flight path, so that is one thing that as Westlake residents you have to think about, is that you will hear the planes going over every day, depending on the wind patterns. Of course, sometimes they shift the flight path to go a different direction, but most of the time you are in that flight path here in Westlake. And I think it's a small price to pay to have that proximity to both downtown and the airport, and of course the nice, quiet, gated community. This is a lake community, as the name would imply, Westlake, and so we do have a number of homes that sit right on the lake too. So you'll typically see a bit of a premium, you know, anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 more to have those premium lots that are right on the lake. This one does not back up to a lake, it backs up to another house. And as I said, 4,097 square feet, great floor plan, and it is just right at that 950 range. So like I said, I've got one more stop for you guys today here in North Natomas, and then we'll wrap it up. Thanks. Okay, you guys, that's going to wrap up our North Natomas tour for today, and I wanted to end the day here at one of our favorite restaurants here locally, Bella Brew Cafe. Liz is the owner there, and she just does a great job of just providing great service, of course, and also great food and awesome wine list. There you go with the wine again. But you know me. And of course, great craft cocktails as well. And then also in this same parking lot, we've got, you know, one of the main grocery stores in the area. The Rayleigh's is back there. And oh my goodness, I just walked through there today. It's been a little while since I was there, and they have remodeled. It is a really super nice grocery store. And other things in here, you've got a Five Guys, you've got a couple of other local restaurants that are close by. You've got a Kohl's over in the other part of the parking lot. There's Jack's Urban Eats, which is amazing for salads and sandwiches. And oh my gosh, if you're feeling like you need a guilty pleasure, the Jack's Urban Fries are incredible if you like a little heat. So that's one of my favorite things to do when I'm feeling like I need some carbs. which I don't think I ever need carbs, but when I want carbs, the Jack's Urban Fries are one of my go-tos for sure. And their salads are just incredible too. So you can have, the good with the bad, I guess. So thanks so much for tuning in again today, you guys. This was North Natomas, and the 3 houses that we saw, we Regency Park in there, Natomas Park, and then also, of course, we were just at Westlake, and all 3 great communities. There's so much more to choose from though here in North Natomas. So again, whether you're looking to move in a week, a month, or a year, please reach out. We get calls and emails and text messages from folks like you every single day making a move to Sacramento, and the whole team loves it, and we look forward to helping you make a smooth move here too. Bye-bye.